This video is going to be really different. I think it's the first of its kind.
Why we're surrounded by
A lot of my students or my viewers or even some of my friends that are ELL or ESL learners, they have trouble understanding sarcasm in English. Now, I'm pretty sure every culture has its own type of sarcasm. Every language has its own type of sarcasm. But here in America, we use sarcasm a lot. I am very sarcastic, and I know a lot of my friends and family are also sarcastic, and who knows, maybe we laugh so that we don't cry, all right? But Americans tend to be a little bit more sarcastic than, in my case, other people from other countries that I have been able to have friendships or relationships with. They're not as sarcastic or, as Americans, especially when I was living in Korea. Koreans can be sarcastic at times, but it's not as common as it is here in America. I have European friends. They literally have told me Americans are so sarcastic, and I'm like, it's true, because if we don't laugh, we will cry. It's just the way Americans are. But sarcasm, it can be a little bit tricky to understand at times, even for native English speakers. I have friends that literally are born and raised here in America, and they don't pick up on sarcasm as much. Even my own son, I know he's young, he's 10 years old right now at the time of this recording, but he doesn't pick up on sarcasm that much. So I'm here to hopefully help you understand what sarcasm is. Sarcasm 101, class is in session. Let's get started. Let's get into it. First of all, what is sarcasm? Well, sarcasm is just a form of verbal irony where someone says the opposite of what they really mean. My voice cracked. Of what they really mean, often to mock or convey contempt. So if you are using sarcasm, you are using a form of verbal irony. You are saying the opposite of what you are actually feeling or what you actually mean. And you usually do so to mock or convey contempt. You're angry, you're frustrated, or even just to be funny. I know for me, a lot of times I use sarcasm because I like to lighten the mood and I like to be funny. I would like to say that I'm a funny person, but I just like to see people smile and laugh. So when I use sarcasm, it tends to be because I just want people to laugh. However, sometimes I use sarcasm and it's because I'm frustrated or because I want to mock someone or something. So there's different ways to use it. So I'm going to give you a few examples of how you may hear and also use sarcasm. Sarcasm is just saying the opposite of what you mean or what you really feel. Example number 1. This is an example sentence. "Oh, great job on the report," he said while looking at the pile of errors. "I'm sure the boss will be thrilled." "Oh, great job on the report," he said while looking at the pile of errors. "I'm sure the boss will be thrilled." So this guy is talking, maybe he's talking out loud, maybe he's talking to a coworker, and he's being sarcastic. It could be a little mean sometimes. Sarcasm can be mean. And he's like, "Well, great job on the report." But he's looking at the report and there's so many errors. And he's like, "The boss will be thrilled." Do you think the boss is actually going to be thrilled? No. The boss is probably going to be quite upset because there's so many errors, right? He's just lightening the mood by using sarcasm, or maybe he's just trying to be a little bit mean to his coworker or to whoever he's talking to right now by using sarcasm in a sarcastic manner. So he's like, "Great job on the report. Look at all these errors. The boss is going to be thrilled." Sarcasm. So I have a little story I can share with you all that actually happened to me earlier this year. Earlier this year, I was having a disagreement with a coworker, and I was typing an email and I went to reply to this coworker individually. But I'm so used to hitting reply all because in my line of work, in our department, we like to keep everybody in the loop. So most of the time, keep everyone in the loop. I don't think I've gone over that. It just means keep everyone on the same page, which is another idiom that we use. It just means to keep everyone in the know, which also I think is another phrase. Wow, Americans have so many ways of saying the same thing. That is crazy. It just makes sure everybody knows the same thing. Typically, we hit reply all On the email, reply all, it goes to the whole team and you say what you got to say and then you move on. Well, I'm so used to doing that I hit reply all and I wrote in the email with a coworker. Like I was having a disagreement with a coworker, but it was no big deal. Like we're friends, we're cool. So I was just like, yeah, sure, you do that. I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy to hear that you have a new idea. And I put like a little smiley face. It was sarcasm because I knew everyone else would not be happy to hear that she has a new idea. I also knew that they would not be happy that she had already been implementing her new idea without asking others. I did not agree with her new idea, but I was like, oh yeah, you go ahead and you tell them. I'm pretty sure they'll be so excited to hear that you have a new idea. Smiley face. Like she and I are cool. It was a joke, but it was also sarcasm. But here's the thing, I clicked reply all, so then it went to everyone, and I was like, stupid, Carley, why? And then I had to explain like, oh no, it's just a joke, we're good, nobody panic, it's sarcasm, I am sarcastic. And yeah, it was kind of awkward there for a couple days, but you get over it. Sarcasm, you just use when you want to kind of mock someone, or you want to say the opposite of how you feel. So that is one example of sarcasm. I have another example that I'm going to go over with you today. So the next example of sarcasm, fantastic, another flat tire, she said while staring at the car. Just what I needed today. I could be a narrator. Fantastic, another flat tire, she said while staring at the car. Just what I needed today. Obviously, this is sarcasm because nobody likes to have a flat tire. Nobody wants to experience that, especially when you have it. You don't say, fantastic, this is exactly what I needed. This is what I wanted. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, the universe. Thank you, whoever gave me this flat tire. This is what I wanted today. This is the perfect gift ever. No, that is sarcasm. What she really feels is probably like, my life is horrible. Why me? I have such bad luck. Oh my goodness. That's probably how she's feeling. But she's saying the opposite, like, wow, fantastic, just what I needed. Whoa, flat tire.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Sarcasm. So an example.
Story time.
My own personal examples. Before I moved to where I currently live, I used to travel to work. In the morning, it would be like 45 minutes, but going home, it could be like 2 hours because of traffic. It was crazy, sometimes even longer. And when I'm sitting in traffic, I typically just say like, wow, this is so great. This is exactly what I want to do with my time. I have nothing else better I can be doing right now. I would love to just sit in traffic all day long. This is the best way I can use my time. That's sarcasm, right? Because in reality, I have 1,000,001 things I need to get done, and sitting in traffic is making me not able to get those things done. It's making me procrastinate the things that I really need to get done because I'm just sitting in traffic doing nothing but sitting there and driving. I can't do anything. I live in a state where we can't even look at our phone because it's illegal. So like I can't multitask, which not that I would. You guys would be like, oh, Carly would. Not that I would look at my phone, but if I'm sitting in traffic, and sometimes Atlanta traffic is stand still, which means you're not moving. For a good 10-20 minutes, you're not moving. I could be getting some things done if I really wanted to. But instead, no, I'm just sitting there looking out the window, counting how many white Teslas we have, and I'm like, wow, we have so many white Teslas. I kind of want a white Tesla, so I don't blame anybody, but I'm just sitting there looking like, oh, their license plate is cool background. Oh, look at the license plate, 444. You know, I'm just doing that. I'm wasting my time. But verbally, I say, wow, I can't think of any other thing I could possibly be doing right now. This is the best time spent. This is the best thing I can think of right now. Like for spending my time. Just sitting in traffic is great right now. It's great for me. That's sarcasm. So I have one more example of sarcasm for you all today. Like I said, this is a little bit of a different video, but I'm hoping you're enjoying it, learning Sarcasm 101 class with teacher Carley. And this one's kind of funny because it's another real life example, and it's not about me, it's about my sister, and it's pretty funny. First off, let me give you an example sentence of sarcasm before I get into my story. Wow, you're a real genius, he said after someone made an obvious mistake. How did you guys figure that out? Wow, you're a real genius, he said after somebody made an obvious mistake. How did you figure that out? So again, sarcasm. Obviously the person is not a genius. Obviously the person made a simple mistake, but the guy is just using sarcasm and he's like, wow, you're such a genius. How did you ever figure that out? Sarcasm, right? So my story time is very funny. When I was younger, my sister was like 18, 19, or 20 years old at this time, around that age. And we were on a road trip. I was too young. I was like 2 or 3 years old to remember this, but my parents will never let my sister live this story down. My parents constantly remind her of this story. So when we were on a road trip growing up, my sister was bored. She was looking out the window and she happened to see a huge Mack truck on the expressway driving beside the car that we were in, my parents' car. And that truck, in English, we call it an 18-wheeler. And my sister, she starts counting the wheels on the truck. And she's like, do we call it an 18-wheeler because it has 18 wheels? And my mom and my dad were like, yes, that is exactly why we call it an 18-wheeler. Wow, you are so smart. I can't believe you figured that out. Like, you are a genius. That's what my dad was saying. And obviously I was too young at the time to understand what was going on. I was like 3. But my parents always tell that story and it always makes me laugh. Makes me chuckle because it is so on brand for my sister. My sister sometimes, she's like smart in her own way, but then she's also kind of ditzy sometimes. She's like, ah, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? That's really funny. I wish I could have actually enjoyed when that happened and not be like, you know, a toddler, because I can just imagine my sister counting and then having the light bulb like, and then being like, wow, they call it an 18-wheeler. And then my parents being sarcastic, being like, wow, you are such a genius. I cannot believe you figured that out. Wow, you are going to Harvard. You're going to Yale. Like, you are so academically inclined. Like, just sarcasm, you know? I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was a little bit different than usual, but I know it's something that you all have been asking about. And I know it's hard. You know, when I was learning Korean as well, sometimes jokes, especially sarcasm, just, I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I was like, why are you excited about this? Oh, sarcasm. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't cross over from one language to another easily enough. So I am hoping this video helped you a little bit. So if it did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you all in the next video.